15 home hacks, cozy and beautiful for seniors 55 plus. Hello there, friend. Welcome back, or if this is your first time visiting, I'm so glad you're here. I'm your cozy corner of the internet for all things homey, handy, and heartwarming, and this is Meaningful Living. Here we believe that creating a beautiful home should feel joyful, not stressful. Now, if you're like many of us 60-something, young at heart, still rearranging the living room furniture just for fun, then this video is made for you. Maybe you enjoy a good thrift store treasure hunt, or you've got grandkids who think your house smells like cookies and calm. You love your space, you care about the details, but sometimes you just want a little extra magic. So today I'm spilling the tea, sharing 15 of my favorite real-life home decor secrets that I actually use. These aren't your typical Pinterest tips. They're practical, a little quirky, and totally doable. If that sounds like your cup of tea, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because here at Meaningful Living we've got a whole house full of ideas coming your way. Ready to cozy up and get inspired? Let's jump in. Main section, rewritten tips. Number 1, the magic of mirrors. Double your space, light, and ambience. Alright, here's something no one really talks about, but once you know it, you'll never unsee it. Take a look at your mirror. Not in the mirror, but at what it's reflecting. Now, if what you're seeing is your laundry basket, a dusty corner, or that spot where you keep the recycling, don't blame the mirror. It's not misbehaving, it's just showing you the truth. Here's the trick. Position something beautiful across from it, a plant, a vase of flowers, maybe that thrifted lamp you adore. Suddenly, the mirror is doing double duty, decorating your home twice without adding a thing. This little move is a game changer, especially if you live in a smaller space. Mirrors are sneaky. They stretch rooms, bounce light, and make cozy nooks feel grand. It's like Spanx for your living room. And the best part? You don't need to move furniture or spend a dime. Just shift what you already own and let the magic unfold. Try it, you'll start thinking of mirrors like window seats for your decor. Now let's add even more charm. If you've got one candle, place it next to a mirror. Just like that, the reflection doubles the flicker, and suddenly it feels like you've got twice the ambience without twice the candle budget. This is one of those tiny tricks that makes a room feel instantly special, whether it's your dining table, your mantle, or even your bathroom. Yes, especially your bathroom. A little candlelight reflected in a mirror adds softness, depth, and just a touch of magic. And listen, for those of us in our golden years who appreciate a bit of everyday romance without the fuss, this is the move. Candlelight dinner for one? Why not? Bubble bath with gentle lighting? Even better. And if your grandkids stop by and ask why there's a candle in the bathroom, just wink and say, "Grown-up spa time, sweetie." No need for fancy candle holders either. A simple tea light, a thrifted mirror, and voila, your evening is lit, literally. Plant care secrets. From tidy planters to tamed vines. Now that your mirror is pulling double duty, let's move on to something leafy and a little sneaky. If you love having houseplants, and I know many of you do, you've probably got a few still sitting in those black nursery pots. You know the ones I'm talking about. Practical, yes, but stylish not so much, especially when that chunky black rim is peeking out like a bra strap under a silk blouse. It just doesn't belong. But don't worry. You don't need to repot the whole plant or go buy a fancy new container. Here's the secret. Grab a pair of scissors and snip off the top rim of the plastic pot. That's it. Just trim off the part that shows above the planter, and suddenly the whole thing looks custom-made. It's a 2-minute job, and no one will ever know that there's still a plain old plastic pot inside. It's like using a tablecloth to hide mismatched chairs. Completely acceptable and absolutely brilliant. This trick is especially great for seniors who love decorating but don't want the mess or strain of repotting. No heavy lifting, no dirty hands. Just a little trim and your plant display goes from meh to marvelous. And hey, your guests will think you hired someone. Go ahead and take the compliment, I won't tell. Now let's be honest, plants are a lot like grandkids, adorable, full of life, and always growing in every direction except the one you planned for. One minute your monstera is standing tall, the next it's leaning over like it had a long day and just gave up. But here's the secret, clear plant holders. These little clips are practically invisible and gently guide your plant stems without tying them down like a roast chicken. I love using them for my climbing plants or those dramatic leaves that always want to lean into the room like they're trying to join the conversation. Just clip the stem softly to a stake or to the side of your planter, and voila! Your plant stands proud but still free to grow. No tight wires, no damage, and bonus, no more surprise leaf to the face while you're trying to water. This trick is especially great for those of us who love having houseplants but don't want to fuss with complicated supports or constant repotting. It's gentle, simple, and like all good solutions, barely noticeable but highly effective. Keep your sofa in line. Literally. Alright, plant pots trimmed and looking fabulous. Now let's talk about that sneaky piece of furniture we all wrestle with, the sofa. If you've ever sat down for a nice nap and woke up to find your couch halfway to the window, you know what I mean. Sofas love to slide, especially if you've got smooth flooring, and especially if you're not around to catch them in the act. Now, I know many of us like to keep a small gap between the sofa and the wall. It makes the room feel more open, protects the paint, and honestly, it just looks better. But keeping that gap in place, that's the tricky part. Here's my secret weapon: lint roll tubes. Yep, those leftover cardboard tubes from your sticky lint rollers. Don't toss them. Tuck one behind each sofa leg, right where it meets the wall. They're sturdy, don't squish down like toilet paper rolls, and they stay put unless someone decides to host a wrestling match on the couch. It's such a simple fix and it works like a charm. No fancy gadgets needed. And for those of us who like things neat but easy, because who wants to bend down and reposition furniture every day, this trick saves time, energy, and a whole lot of grumbling. Your couch stays exactly where you want it, your wall stays scuff-free, and you can finally enjoy that afternoon nap without waking up on the other side of the room. Make your spice box shine, literally. Now that your sofa's staying put like a well-trained pup, let's step into the kitchen for a second. I know many of you take pride in a well-organized kitchen. Everything neat, easy to reach, and just the way you like it. But here's a tiny trick that adds a surprising bit of elegance, and it takes less time than boiling an egg. Let's talk about your spice box. Whether you've got a classic wooden one, something brass, or even a modern rotating set, they all have one thing in common. They get messy fast and they're usually kind of dark inside. So here's my go-to solution. Line the bottom of your spice box with a soft, white parchment circle. That's right, parchment paper. Not just for cookies anymore. The white background reflects light, brightens everything up, and makes even the humblest human feel like it's attending a red carpet event. It's simple, elegant, and instantly makes the whole box feel more organized and, dare I say, fancy. I like to cut a few circles ahead of time and keep them handy. You can also switch it up with a printed napkin if you're feeling playful, but the parchment has this clean, classic look that really lets the spices shine. It's a small detail, but it makes a big difference. You'll feel like the host of your very own cooking show. Today on Mildly Spicy with Grandma G, we're seasoning with style. Turn a napkin into art. Yes, really? Okay, now that your spice box looks like it belongs in a gourmet magazine, let's bring that creative flair to your walls. And no, you don't need to paint, sew, or spend hours crafting. In fact, if you can fold a napkin and slide it into a frame, you're already halfway there. Here's the idea. Take a beautiful napkin, maybe one from your granddaughter's wedding, a holiday brunch, or that charming little cafe in Paris you still dream about, and frame it. That's it. No scissors, no glue. Just fold it neatly and pop it between the glass of a frame. Boom. Instant art, instant story. And let's be honest, at our age, we've collected more than our fair share of pretty things too sentimental to throw away. Well, now they get to shine. Whether it's florals, vintage prints, or even seasonal napkins from the dollar store, framed napkins add color, personality, and charm to any room. I've got one on my dining room gallery wall right now, and guests always ask where I bought it. I smile and say, the napkin aisle. Plus, for those of us who love switching things up without hammering new holes in the wall, napkin art is easy to rotate with the seasons or your mood. Summer lemons in July, cozy plaids by Thanksgiving, you're the curator now. Say goodbye to cable chaos, hello command hooks. Alright, plant vines are now under control, but let's talk about something sneakier to cords. You know the ones. Under the TV, behind the microwave, wrapped around your KitchenAid mixer like it's auditioning for a knot tying contest. If you're like many of us who love a clean, calming home, messy cords are the one thing that instantly steals the magic. Honestly, they're like the bad hair day of home decor. One glance and it all feels a little frazzled. But don't worry, I've got you. My secret weapon, command hooks. Not the tiny ones you use for holiday lights, I mean the sturdy, weight-rated kind that can actually handle your power cords without giving up halfway through the week. Here's what you do. Stick the hook to the back of your furniture or console, then guide the cord along its path and tuck it right in. It's like giving your cables their own little backstage area. They're still there, just hidden from view like good manners or your emergency chocolate stash. This works wonders behind TVs, desks, kitchen counters, anywhere cords like to play peekaboo. And the best part? When you want to rearrange or clean, they peel right off without taking half the wall with them. No drills, no mess, no drama. Turn that jar of water into a plant boutique moment. Alright, we've set the mood with candles and mirrors. Now let's tackle something every plant lover will relate to: rooting cuttings. If you've got a leafy stem sitting in a jar of water on the kitchen counter, or 10 if you're anything like me, it probably looks more like a science experiment than part of your home decor. But don't worry, we're about to fix that with one simple move. Here's the trick. Take that glass jar, cup, or old yogurt container, hey, no judgment, and pop it inside a pretty little basket or decorative vase. Instantly, it goes from random stick in water to charming indoor garden moment. This is perfect for folks like us who love greenery but also appreciate a clean, cohesive look. No need to wait until the roots are ready to plant. Just dress them up now and enjoy the view. I've done this with all sorts of containers. Woven baskets, thrifted planters, even ceramic mugs. The key is hiding the mess and letting the green be the star. Plus, it keeps things neat if guests drop by unexpectedly. You'll hear, "Ooh, where did you get that cute plant setup?" And you can just smile and say, "Oh, this? Just something I threw together between my coffee and crossword." Bigger baskets, bigger style wins, plus double-up cushion inserts for that plush boutique look. Let's keep the momentum going with a tip that's especially close to my heart in my living room: baskets. Now, I know many of us love a good woven basket. It's cozy, it's charming, and it whispers, "I have my life in order," even if, let's be honest, we really don't. But here's the thing, size matters. So many people pick tiny baskets that barely hold a magazine, let alone all the things we need nearby. My advice, size up always. A bigger basket isn't just more practical. It adds volume and texture to a room, it anchors a corner, softens a space, and lets you stash all the real-life stuff without losing your decorator cred. In mine, you'll find a folded throw, 3 remote controls, 2 squeaky dog toys, and let me confess, a chocolate bar I hid from the grandkids, because sometimes you need your own secret stash. Bigger baskets are perfect for those of us who want a home that feels both lived in and lovely. No clutter on display, no frantic tidying when someone rings the bell. Just reach over, toss it in, and smile. Problem solved, style maintained. Now let's talk about pillows, because if there's one thing we seasoned decorators love, it's a well-fluffed cushion. They make a room feel finished, inviting, and just plain comfy. But nothing ruins the look faster than a saggy, sad pillow that's lost its puff. Here's a trick I've used for years. Take 2 smaller inserts and stuff them into one large cushion cover. Yep, just double up. That's it. Suddenly, your pillow goes from deflated disappointment to 5-star hotel lounge. And when you're curled up watching your favorite detective show rerun, it'll be the perfect backrest or cuddle buddy. This tip is especially handy for those of us who have extra fillers lying around or mismatched sizes that never seem to fit right. No need to go out and buy yet another insert just because the tag said Euro sham. Use what you've got and make it work better. Plus, your guests will never guess what's going on inside that stylish throw pillow. They'll just think you've mastered the art of interior layering, and honestly, at our age, that's the kind of mystery we can solve without a magnifying glass. Anti-slip liners, the secret superpower for seniors. Now, let's talk about something that drives us all a little nuts. Things that slide around when they're not supposed to. Trays that shift when you set down your tea, table runners that bunch up like they're doing the cha-cha, or that air fryer that practically jumps off the counter when you open it. Sound familiar? Here's my favorite fix, and it's so simple you'll wonder why we didn't think of it sooner. Anti-slip drawer liners. Yep, the same ones we used years ago to keep our silverware trays in place. Turns out, they're the unsung heroes of home stability. Just cut them into strips or shapes and slide them under anything that likes to wander. Runners, vases, small rugs, even kitchen gadgets. Suddenly everything stays exactly where you placed it. No more dancing air fryer, no more runaway centerpiece. It's like adding invisible seatbelts to your decor. And the best part? No glue, no damage, no permanent changes. You can move things around anytime, but when you don't want them to move, they won't budge. This tip is especially great for us seasoned decorators who like a tidy home without the risk of bumping something off the counter mid-sweep. And trust me, once you try it, you'll feel like Martha Stewart with a tool belt. Give plain with that cozy coffee stain charm. Alright, now that your trays and runners are staying put like well-behaved guests, let's bring a little rustic charm to your space with something you probably already have sitting in your kitchen: coffee. Yes, coffee, and not just for drinking, although let's be honest, that's sacred too. This little trick is one of my favorites when I want to warm up a piece of plain or unfinished wood. Maybe it's the back of a shelf, the bottom of a wooden tray, or even the side of a thrifted box that just looks a little too new. Here's what you do. Mix a bit of leftover brewed coffee with water, grab a brush or an old cloth, and gently apply it to the wood surface. Let it sit just long enough to tint, don't let it fully dry, then wipe off the excess with a slightly damp paper towel or rag. You'll be amazed. That pale IKEA piece suddenly looks like something you picked up from a quaint little antique shop in Vermont. Now, a quick word of wisdom from someone who's learned the messy way. Don't do this on any surface that'll touch food, unless you want your toast to taste like espresso, which honestly might not be that bad depending on the morning. This is a great trick for older adults who love giving things a second life without the mess or fumes of heavy-duty stains. And best of all, it smells wonderful while you do it. Magnetic knife racks. They're not just for knives anymore. Now that we've added some cozy charm to your wooden pieces with a little coffee magic, let's talk about something small, smart, and surprisingly satisfying: magnetic knife racks. You probably already have one in your kitchen holding your favorite slicing knife. But here's the thing. These sleek little strips can hold so much more than just blades. Measuring spoons, scissors, bottle openers, tweezers, yes, those too, don't ask. Even that pesky little dough scraper you can never find when you need it. Just give everything a test. If it sticks, it stays. That's it. This tip is especially handy if you're someone who values ease, visibility, and, well, saving a little sanity. No more fishing around the junk drawer for that one spoon you swear was there yesterday. Just glance at the wall, grab what you need, and carry on with your day. And here's a laugh for you. My fancy dough scraper from IKEA doesn't stick worth a darn, but the one I picked up from the dollar store sticks like a charm. Go figure. Sometimes the little surprises are the best ones. So if you're a fan of tidy counters, quick access, and clever storage, give this a try. It's one of those things that once you set up, you'll wonder how you ever managed without it. Forget perfect matches. Layer your home like a story. Now that your cushions are looking showroom ready, let's talk about something that's a little less about symmetry and a little more about soul. Because here's a truth I've learned over the years. A home that's too matchy-matchy often feels, well, flat. Sure, catalogs and model homes love showing everything in the same color palette and fabric. But your home, it should feel lived in, layered, and full of personality. Try mixing textures. Soft with rough, shiny with matte, vintage with modern. Place an old wooden stool next to a sleek floor lamp. Toss a velvet pillow on a rattan chair. Drape a quilt your mom made over a store-bought sofa. It's the contrast that creates comfort and character. Think of decorating like cooking. A little sweet, a little salty. That's where the flavor is. No one wants a plate of just mashed potatoes. Well, maybe with gravy, but you get the point. This approach works especially well for us older folks who've gathered treasures over the years. Antiques, souvenirs, hand-me-downs, yard sale scores. They don't need to match. They need to tell your story. So don't aim for perfect, aim for personal. Shine up your stainless steel with a tiny bit of oil. Now that your home is layered like a beautiful quilt of memories, let's tackle one last thing that tends to steal the spotlight, and not in a good way. Those sneaky little fingerprints on your stainless steel appliances. Whether it's your fridge, microwave, or toaster oven, somehow they attract more fingerprints than a grandchild's birthday card. And if you're like many of us, you want things to look clean without spending all day scrubbing. Here's a tip I swear by. Take a soft microfiber cloth and add just a dab of oil, coconut, olive, baby oil, even a bit of cooking spray in a pinch. Gently wipe it across the stainless surface, and just like that, the smudges vanish and the shine comes back to life. It's safe, quick, and honestly a little satisfying. And yes, you will want to call someone and say, "Guess what? I just polished the fridge with salad dressing, and it looks amazing." This trick is especially perfect for older adults who love low-effort, high-impact solutions. It's gentle on your hands, friendly on your appliances, and keeps your kitchen looking showroom fresh without any harsh chemicals. The beauty of quiet corners. Let your space breathe. Now that your stainless steel is sparkling like it's ready for a magazine shoot, let's take a deep breath, literally, and talk about quiet corners. Because here's the thing, not every space in your home needs to be filled. Not every nook needs a lamp, a plant, a little stool, and an inspirational quote sign. Sometimes what your home really needs is a little bit of nothing. Yes, nothing. A clear corner, a blank space, a little visual exhale. Especially for us older adults who have gathered a lifetime of lovely things, it's easy to feel like every surface should do something. But when you allow a few corners to just be, you create natural pauses in the room, and in those pauses, that's where calm lives. Think of it like dessert. Leaving one bite of cake on the plate shows grace and restraint, even if you sneak back for it later. We've all done it. It's the same with decorating. Sometimes the beauty comes from what you don't put in. So look around. Is there one area you could clear out just a bit? A little white space for your eyes and your soul to rest? Put a cloche on it, because everything looks better under glass. And now for our final little secret, the cherry on top, quite literally in some cases. Let's talk about that small, often overlooked item that instantly makes anything feel special. The glass cloche. You know the one, those little glass domes you often see in fancy shops or French bakeries. Well, here's your micro tip. Put one over something ordinary and it becomes extraordinary. A few cookies under a cloche, they look like a gourmet treat. A tea light candle, suddenly it's ambience. Even your lucky coin collection or a few dried flowers become a curated moment of beauty. It's like saying, this little thing matters, without needing to say a word. This trick is wonderful for older adults who love detail, storytelling, and turning the everyday into something delightful. You don't need new stuff, just a new way of seeing what you already have. And here's the part one love most. Your guests will walk in and say, how do you make everything look so put together? And you'll smile and whisper to yourself, I just fake it really well. So grab that little glass dome and crown something special today, because at this stage in life, we know it's the small joys that make the biggest impact. So there you have it, my friend, 15 home decor secrets that don't require a design degree or a shopping spree, just a little creativity, a dash of humor, and a whole lot of heart. Because let's face it, at this stage in life, we've figured out that it's not the price tags or the trends that make a house beautiful. It's the laughter in the hallway, the sunbeams on the kitchen floor, and the tiny tricks that make life feel just a little easier and a lot more joyful. And if one of these ideas made you chuckle, reminded you of something your grandma used to do, or inspired you to rearrange your coffee table at 9:30 p.m., then my job here is done. So go ahead, keep faking it like a pro, keep layering your life with stories, and most of all, keep creating a home that feels like you. If you enjoyed this, don't be shy. Leave a comment, share your own tips, or just say hi. I read them all, usually with a cup of tea in one hand and a biscuit in the other. Until next time, from all of us here at Meaningful Living, stay cozy, stay creative, and remember, you're not decorating for Pinterest, you're decorating for joy.